Oh, we should have done tattoo.
Oh.
We should have let that be our intro.
Couldn't put in tattoo.
We'll get copyrighted. I think technically that's a cover. You're allowed to do that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my IP.
Welcome, big ol' snort. It's becoming a trademark here where I relieve my sinuses directly into the microphone. Welcome to the Colecast for the week of October. My calendar's not coming up. 22nd.
Nope.
Happy 22nd, everybody.
This is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, this is coming out tomorrow. Happy 15th. Happy 1-5. I guess we didn't do it last week because
You were super sick.
I was a sicky boy. I was coughing everywhere. I'm still kind of coughing. Anyway, let's get into the episode, guys. The only thing I have to alert you about is I need people to come hang out with Josh Prince. He will be here the 30th through the 1st. He's going to be doing their class so that we can have the knife and creature class. So sign up for that. Brett's class is coming up. Check out coleschool.com. We'd love to have you come out. We also have the minis that you can design your own class. Let Charlie know what you want to do, and we will let you know if we can make that happen, how to make that work. And the hammer-in. We're going to talk a little bit about the hammer-in at the back end of the episode here. I've got some things to announce. But today, we are joined by some guy who just keeps showing up.
I'm just some fella.
We asked him to try out, and he just kept coming back. And we've told him multiple times to stop.
You don't take no for an answer from employers.
And, if at some point we're just going to have to stop cutting the check,
You did forever ago. It's fine.
Did you hear about that? Oh, it was on, I think I saw it on Reddit. A woman worked just to get out of the house. Like her husband made a ton of money, worked just to get out of the house. The company she worked for had gone through all of these layoffs. Yeah. And she figured she didn't get laid off just because she her position was so low that it didn't cost a ton of money, whatever. She was like a receptionist or something. Or maybe she just answered phones. And then when she went to go do her taxes, she was like, this is clearly wrong. It says I only made like $14,000 last year. Like I was working full time. So she went back to HR, and HR was like, oh, you were supposed to be laid off.
Was she still getting paid?
No, she wasn't getting paid. They had stopped because her husband was making enough money that they just never checked her money going into the account or something. And so they back paid her and kept her. They were like, oh yeah, actually, if you're going to continue working here, we have to pay you.
It's kind of a happy end to the story.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how you do a round of layoffs and edit everything into your software to say hey, we're going to stop paying this person. They're not working here anymore.
Right.
And then don't take the time to call them in and say, hey, just so you know, you got that email about layoffs, right? You have 2 weeks and you're gone.
Right.
Because I think that was the situation. I think it was there was a round of emails and she just never read the email or something.
Yeah. I feel like you just shouldn't be letting people go through email anyways, but I'm just old-timey like that.
Yeah.
I'm
you're
quaint.
Also, you're not working in the highfalutin, work from home, Zoom call atmosphere.
The things I would do to work from home.
I both miss it and don't miss it.
You worked from home?
I was so at my last job, I was working in my own store 4 to 5 days a week. And then my boss, both her parents had passed away within a week of each other.
Oh.
Her mom had been sick for a really long time. And then I think when her mom passed away, her dad was like, okay, I don't have to be a caretaker anymore. I'm good to go. I think he was just kind of at peace with it. But so for 3 or 4 months, I was running an entire district on top of running an individual store. So there was...
What is that, a 500-hour work week?
I was honestly most weeks pushing probably in the 70s.
Jesus.
But 1 or 2 of those days I'd be working from home and on calls with other, store managers and coming up with action plans and walking them through oh, you've got an assistant that isn't doing this or isn't doing that. So I both very much miss knowing when you go to bed at night, tomorrow I just have to roll over and, I can work from my bedroom. I can work from my kitchen, whatever.
God, that'd be so nice.
But I don't miss when I walk into my house, I walk into my doors, and it's not that Coal Iron Works doesn't exist. I do check emails every once in a while just to make sure there's not an emergency. Like, you know, just like you would check text messages on your phone. If there's a notification, I'll check it out. But for the most part, when I walk into my house, it is like, I'm here.
It's a sanctuary.
It did become a feeling of like when I worked from home, there wasn't a clear delineation of when I was at home Francis and when I was work Francis.
That would be kind of hard.
Yeah. It's kind of like having a TV, like people say not to have TV in your bedroom because you just see it as another living room, so it's harder to sleep.
Those people either.
Dude, I fall asleep to Law and Order every night.
Really?
Yeah. It's because it's boring enough without being like insufferable.
Yeah.
That I can like, I don't feel bad about falling asleep halfway through the episode. Like if it was a show that I was actually invested in.
Because who cares?
Yeah. It's like, whatever. You know, the ex-boyfriend did it every time.
Dude, I've fallen into this like weird AI rabbit hole for falling asleep lately. It's like you just, on YouTube, it's just like a 5-hour long podcast clearly written by AI where it just like dives into a historical topic. And like,
I can't do that.
I don't like it because it's like, you know, I don't want to just like listen to AI videos, but also I feel a little bit better ignoring a robot than a real person.
I would get too bought into it though. They would be talking about like I tried to do that when the whole thing a couple months ago was the Edmund Fitzgerald sinking, and everybody was like, there was that whole meme about like men will never forget the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is the Great Lakes shipwreck.
Which that's the extent that I know about that.
Well, yeah, I was like, oh, like I'll listen to this documentary about it or whatever. I tried to watch it to go to sleep, and I was awake until like 1 a.m. It was so interesting, and it literally can be summed up with a shipwreck.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, what is so special about that? Why does it keep coming up?
Nothing crazy.
Is it because the name's cool?
I think it was one of those things that was a meme and then everybody took it too literally. And I hate the fact that I just used that sentence, even saying, oh, it's just a meme, dude.
Well, some things are.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what a meme is anymore. A meme just used to be words on a picture. And now it is evolved into,
dude, yeah,
like actual, like, My nephew will go around doing the skippity toilet thing. And
I'm so happy to say I don't know what the hell that is.
I have no idea what it is. And I asked him, he was like, oh, it's just a meme. It's like, no. A meme is like a funny picture you share with your friends. You are actively taking actions.
Yeah.
Like a lifestyle is not a meme.
Does meme just mean it's something I find funny now?
I know.
Actually, a meme was a word that was used for social popularity subjects way before the pictures and words were a thing.
Really?
Yeah, the word got applied to that format because it basically described what it was.
Because it applies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it way outdates it.
Okay. What's the origin of the word?
I just looked it up and I lost service.
Okay,
here it goes.
Anderson.
Welcome to a cement building.
Coined by evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins in 1976.
What?
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that.
Richard, oh my God. The other day,
How could Richard Dawkins take you on a tangent?
never mind. We'll talk about this off the podcast.
Okay, great.
It is hilarious though. People are so dumb.
Yes.
But anyway, all right, that's our pop culture for the day. Evan's about to say something. He's our top pop culture correspondent.
I just wanted to continue on with that a little bit.
Yeah.
It stems from the Greek word mime, which is imitated thing.
So grandma is pronouncing
She's
it correctly.
doing it right, yeah.
It's a mime? It's a mime?
And I might be mispronouncing that word as well.
Did you see that meme I sent you?
You like my memes?
Rough.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, correspondent Evan. Go back into the winter storm that you're supposed to be reporting on.
I'd accept it.
So we have not we've not introduced you yet. This is there with no video. I have to say out loud who you are. This is Josh Porterfield. He is our welder here at the Coal Iron Works. So if you have a press that has been made in the past 2.5 years, almost 3 years,
Over 3 now.
over 3, yeah. Because you started in September, right?
Yeah, I got PTO again, baby.
So in the past 3 years, Josh has done that. He is doing pretty much most of our in-house welding. There's a little bit of welding that happens on dies in the K75 and 12 tons.
And even then, Greg makes me do the KA stuff a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, you've got a better welder.
Yeah, it sure do.
And you are a better welder.
I'll take it.
So you haven't been on in a while, so let's go over kind of your trajectory here. I put out a post inspired by our old buddy Silas, quit your job and make forging presses from his drop out of school and make knives t-shirt, and a very weird connection that we both have is a friend named Wyatt.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him since 2017 probably.
Just disappeared and made this connection in our lives.
Yeah. He followed me and he saw that we were hiring and knew you very casually, right? Like you guys weren't homies. It's not like he called you. He just happened to be next to you.
I met him at an art show in Indianapolis. It was like an art pop-up for Indianapolis artists to sell their stuff. And I was selling knives I made. And he was just like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a welder. He's like, you should go work for Cole Ironworks. I was like, what's that?
And then you got hired. Yeah.
It worked out pretty good.
I famously to Nate Howitt's class admitted that I didn't make you do a weld test.
No, you didn't.
Just because during the interview, the welding was the least of I can teach you how to weld. Well, I can't teach you how to weld. Nathan will teach you how to weld. It was more, I want to hire the right person and give you the right skill. Now, your skills were there. You had a little bit of learning to do and a little bit of adjustment from you welding very small things.
Yeah.
To
going from sheet metal TIG, stainless sheet metal, to what we're doing now where I'm blasting steel out of a fire hose was a transition.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of difference there, but I knew that with what we were doing, if I wasn't getting some guy off of a pipeline in Idaho or somebody who's like welding dump trucks and big buckets and, stuff like that, they were going to have some adjustment. So it didn't matter. Their weld test wouldn't have passed anyway.
I remember being really confused during the interview though. I brought my helmet and everything.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, we'll talk to you. And I was like, do you guys want to like see if I can weld? And you and Nate looked at each other and like, nah. And I was like, all right.
Well, I went in and I didn't care. And I went in and asked Nathan, I was like, hey, Nathan, do you want to do a weld test on him? And he was like, should I? And I was like, I don't know, man, it's up to you. Because I already had the thought of like, well, he's invested enough to buy a really nice helmet. You're not going to lie about being a welder and come in with a $500 helmet.
Right.
You might be bad at being a welder and have a $500 helmet, but once again, I can teach you. I can kind of train you in position. What I wanted to do though is I wanted to hire the right person, the right cultural fit. And so a lot of our interview was honestly just like getting to know you.
Yeah.
And what kinds of things you enjoy doing. And, obviously being a maker, making knives came up, living in Alaska and being a chef came up, being a bartender, there was a lot of things that we kind of could relate on. Mm-hmm. And
when we talked a lot about music during it.
Yeah, we talked a lot about music. We have a very adjacent view. It's like we listen to the same genres and then we'll break off into the subgenres. And it's like, I really like this band, which is in the same subgenre, but you hate them, but you love this other band that sounds exactly like them, but I hate that band.
Right.
And it's like, we like the exact same music, but we hate every band that each other loves.
Yeah. It's like our music tastes are like a cousins, not parallel exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked a lot about music and we kind of talked, it was like, I work 50 hours a week. Can I spend 50 hours around this guy? If I am in Oklahoma and I take you to a show with me, can I stand being in the car with you for 2 days while we drive?
Oh God.
Right.
I can't stand being in the car with me for 2 days.
You just sleep.
Oh, cool.
Your tummy hurts and you get really sick.
Many such cases.
And every time I take you somewhere, your tummy hurts.
Dude, yes.
And
it's an inescapable part of my reality.
So what, from your point of view, what was that interview process like for you? Did you feel like you were doing the same thing where you were trying to see if you would be a good fit here, or was it just like, I need out?
No, the interview was really good. I remember walking out of there and I was like, I'm going to freak the f out if I don't get this job, because one of my biggest complaints about, we don't curse. No, I remember because one of my biggest complaints about being a welder is how weird the culture can get at a lot of places. And it's just really full of like ego and machismo and people who are only trying to one up each other.
And nobody's tummy hurts.
And all of their tummies hurt. And that's why they're all so grumpy.
That's true.
They survive off of 3 gas station meals a day.
Yeah.
But no, that was something that definitely drew me to this place and what made me want to be here specifically. I was like, okay, everyone here is really chill. The first person I talked to when I walked in was Jordan with gauges I could fit my fist through if I needed to. And I was like, all right, this seems like a good fit if I'm going to be in the blue collar side of the world.
Yeah.
Like, I like this.
The shop at that point when you had gotten hired, I had only been here for a couple months. And I remember the first thing I did when I came in, I was hired to be a production manager. And then within 2 weeks, it was like, okay, well, you're the general manager, you're doing everything. And so I was planning this whole transition of welding here in-house because we were getting welded at MoFab just from a bandwidth perspective. Like we had gone over and we had taught this guy who was welding how to do it and everything. And MoFab thought it would be easier for them to just do it since they were cutting the steel and doing all that stuff. They were like, we'll just bring you full presses and then you can assemble them there. Well, then when I took over, it was like, well, we're having a lot of issues. He doesn't really know what to identify as a fit up problem. He just knows because he doesn't use presses. He's not a blacksmith. He doesn't understand that being out of alignment here is okay, but being out of alignment over here totally ruins the function and you get a banana.
Right.
And there's no way to fix that. So we brought it back in house and I was working with a guy to make the weld cell and he ended up moving on from Cole. And so we hired you. And I think like 2 days later, Phil moved on.
I never even met him. So I think I guess in between me hiring and starting.
Yeah. And so me and Nathan in like a week had to build this weld cell. And, we were going through a few other lineup changes. And, when I took over, the shop was on fire. Everybody kind of knew what they were doing, but they weren't used to having a point of contact. So there was a lot of what we refer to as cowboying. Like, well, I do it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. And there's no clear instruction. There's no expectation. There's no, and things got done. And to the credit of Nathan, he had hired the right people that if we were going to cowboy some stuff, all those dudes were the right dudes to cowboy stuff.
They got things figured out.
Because they made things work. The problem is that if you make something work in CNC and then it goes over to welding and then he has to make it work and then it goes over to assembly and they have to make it work and then it goes to the customer, those 3 fixes that customer will never see because the press works. It works fantastic. The problem comes along with, well, if we would have just done it the right way in CNC, we would have saved 4 or 5 hours in the process.
That is one thing that has changed drastically since I started here is now I kind of just have to place the parts where they go and I don't have to grind everything to fit and all that good stuff as much anymore.
Right. And that's come from, having a point person that you can say, hey, Francis, this is a headache. And I know a lot of times it feels like I say, okay, let me look into that. And you feel like there should be more of a conversation. And I probably could get better about saying, okay, let me get some more details. But I genuinely listen, which is a lot different than other fabrication shops. Usually it's like, well, I hire you to do that. So just do it, Yeah. So what have been some of the improvements that we've made as far as and I have a follow-up question that would make this a little clearer, but what are some of the improvements that we've made to your process that makes it easier for you to put a quality product out?
We have started making sure things are actually right angles. That is huge. That is like one of the biggest things that was a nightmare for so long. But that and probably just how much we've reorganized and come up with an actual system for everything instead of me literally walking over piles of parts on the ground, grabbing a handful and trying to make it work. Things are it's streamlined. Press that might have taken me like 2 days before now can just take me like a few hours if we're in crunch time. It's just smoother.
You're one of the few people I've ever met you hear, oh, I'm better under pressure. I'm better under pressure. If I give you a week to do 2 presses, it will take you a week to do 2 presses.
Take me every minute of those.
Every single minute of those weeks. If I give you 5 presses and I say I need these all out today, you will have them done by lunch and ask me what else needs done.
I don't know what that is. It's an ADHD thing.
Yeah, dude, you have this weird gear that kicks in when it's like, oh, I need to get this done. It's gonna get done, and your fit ups are better. Somehow, the welds look prettier. Like I don't know if it's just you overthink things or take too long, with your setup or whatever when you have time. But when you are under the pressure, when we are, I need this, and there's 5 of them that I need it. I always get way better results. But my follow-up question is, we have adopted this idea of lean over the past couple months, and we've been slowly digging into it, and we're going to get deeper and deeper into it. One of the first things that Logan and I going around the shop and saying, okay, this should be here, that should be, why do we even have this? This, I need 4 of these, kind of figuring out our layout and putting ourselves into the cell. And I've worked in assembly. I've worked in, your first couple weeks, I wasn't doing the welding, but I was back there with you watching, seeing, oh man, he's struggling with this. I need to get him this tool, or whatever. You're a dirty boy. I'll just say it.
Dude, not anymore.
You're a cluttery boy.
Not anymore. Have you seen back there recently?
Well, I have. That's what we're going to talk about. So one of the first things we kind of identified was like, oh man, there's a lot of flat surfaces. And Josh takes advantages of flat surfaces.
I sure do.
So, Logan went back and he told me this is how the conversation went. So if it was not like this, I'm not wrong. Logan is, listeners. But he went back and he said, hey, how's that cart working out for you? And you were like, oh, it's great. Everything's within arm's reach, whatever. And he looked at you and he goes, no, it's not. And you went, yeah, you're right. It's not. It doesn't work.
It was more of a just like, nah, I know I'm not going to win this conversation.
Yeah,
so like, whatever. What? Tell me what you need me to do, I guess.
So, getting things in a box. The box has wheels. You can move the box. But everything has a drawer. You're not covering everything in grinder dust.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the biggest improvement, is not having everything be caked in dust.
Right. You go to pick something up and you have to hit it with your air gun first so that you don't get metal splinters. What do you see? And this is something we talk about every Thursday, guys. So if you want to come join us for a Thursday meeting, you guys can give us your lean improvements to your workspace as well. Everybody's welcome. What improvements do you see coming next in your cell?
In my cell, I think I have had, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about what I would do for this week. I have had a little bit more downtime than other stations lately. So I've been able to kind of just slowly but surely make things pretty dang lean. All I can think of is I just want a welder that actually runs 035.
Well, we're working on it.
I know.
All right? We're working on it.
I don't even think that's a lean improvement. That's just a make my life improved. Please.
That's what lean is, though. That's what we've been talking about is fix what bugs you. So, yes, I would say that the next major improvement will be the dual feeder actually up and running. Mm-hmm. I would also say we're going to continue getting rid of flat surfaces. Maybe replace the big flat surfaces with smaller flat surfaces. Maybe we don't need a 6x6 flat surface. Maybe we can get by with a 2x2. And like I said, there's also going to be times where we go to make an improvement and it doesn't work and we have to back out. Right. So,
like for instance, going from a 6x6 flat surface to a 2x2.
Well, 6x6 feet, that's massive. There's nothing that we do that takes a 6-foot table.
I'll show you.
So I think that we can continually improve on giving you what we are notoriously bad at is open space. It drives everybody in the shop crazy to just have open space existing. And instead of letting it become what it needs to become naturally, we immediately go, well, I can put that there.
Oh, we just
and I can
fill
do this
it
thing
with tools from an auction.
Yeah. So I am excited to clear spaces in your cell and in FlexFab with open space.
Could be cool.
To say, oh, well, next year we might be doing 120s. So I need a big open space to be able to do that in. And it's not being taken up by X, Y, and Z, which you honestly, you will not have a ton of welding to do because they're going to be 4 posts fit together.
Oh, dude, as long as we're not refurbing them again.
No.
Oh, God,
No, we can't even get those.
Thank God.
But letting space exist and being okay with that and having your toolbox be your toolbox. And if I find things outside of your toolbox, being able to say, hey, Josh, you clearly didn't 3S today. I need you to stop what you're doing. Go pick up your area. And then you can continue on with your day. And I've had to do this with a couple people already when it's like, hey, dude, it's 7:55 and you're building a press. You've got 5 more minutes of setup time.
Yeah.
And getting that ingrained in people. And one of our employees who will remain nameless was like, you know what? I really didn't think it was going to work. But starting my day with everything where it's supposed to be starts me with the mentality of putting it back where it's supposed to be. So throughout the day, instead of working on something, setting it down, walking away, you work on something and you put it away.
Yeah.
And then it's there in an hour when you need it again.
Dude, I don't want to say Logan was right about making me have a toolbox with drawers, but I will say when I'm done using the tool for the 10 seconds I needed for the day, guess what? It goes back home.
It goes back.
I hate saying he was right about it, but he was.
Yeah. So there's, we hired, I believe we hired the right person. We hired the right cultural fit. We hired somebody who is going to what we refer to as row the boat with us. And, I think you being a messy boy and giving us the shot at maybe this lean thing can work and actively saying, hey, this actually has helped, I think is I've had 3 people this week text me about listening to the podcast and say, hey, we've started to implement this. Nate Howitt tagged us in a shop remodel that he did. And he said, I'm really leaning into this, no pun intended, this idea of lean. And it's really helping. So I did want to give a success story there from one of our more notoriously messy boys.
Dude, I'm not even close to the worst in the shop anymore. I love that for me.
No, not even. No. In fact, this morning we have a rival. Now there's a clear worst. And this morning I almost raised my voice because there was just crap everywhere in this cell. And I was like, and it's not even like, oh, you were working on this and then you got caught up doing this other thing. It was like, nope, that's how you laid it out for the day.
Yeah.
You thought this was an acceptable way to lay out your cell. So next week will be an intensive retraining. But
sending someone to re-education.
Serbia. But I mean, these very easy ideas and these tenets are working, and I can see the difference. I tore apart 3 chillers and an induction forge today to get service parts off of. And what used to take me that would have taken me all day, that took me an hour. It's because all my tools were there, and I wasn't boxed into where I had to move around a table to get this thing that's on the other side and then move over here. Everything was where it should have been. Now, also, I've done it a lot more than I had previously done it.
You got the seat time in there.
But this idea of I only had in that cell what I needed, exactly what I needed, made it so much easier. Doing the same thing in your cell has been a huge improvement. Yep. The stuff coming out of CNC has been a huge improvement. Very much so. Next our eyes are on KA and assembly, which those are going to be the hardest, not just because of who works in it, but because more people work in it. We have 4 people that are actively working in assembly, whether it be KA, press, or induction. So you can't just go in and say, hey, I know you did this because this is your cell. I have to gather all of us and say, okay, who was the last one to be in this cell? One of those persons is an intern and leaves at 11 o'clock. So if I notice at 1, I have to wait for the next morning.
And 2 of them are teenagers, which makes it even harder.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but we're seeing improvements. It's been a really good experiment for us, and we're going to continue diving into it. I mean, the theory's proven in every small business. Whether they acknowledge it or not, they use concepts of lean.
Right.
It's just about acknowledging that you're actively searching for the improvement is the difference between lean and just whatever you're doing to make your business work.
Right.
So, I got a desktop computer and I put it in my service shipping sale thing.
It
Desk.
looks like a gaming computer too.
It probably started off as a gaming computer, if we're being honest. And then I moved a laptop back into the office where I can have quiet time and I can answer phone calls from customers. The Fix What Bugs You was trying to talk over power hammers running and CNCs running and everybody being 5 feet away from me and just yelling, "Hey, Francis," and not knowing I'm on the phone. You know, like I needed a place to retreat to. Even something like that is a lean improvement for our business. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to walk back to the office. Now, Evan probably wishes that I didn't do that because now he has to hear me talking to customers while he's trying to edit videos and he can't get into his focus time.
Evan's lean improvement is going to be kicking you out.
Well, he can't do that. My office, he pays rent. Rent's due. But I wanted to touch on that as you are a key example of lean improvements and the success that we've been having with it. So now that we've talked about that and we have bored everybody to tears by us patting ourselves on the back, Josh, remind us what you like to make and what you like to do.
Oh, I like making knives. Since the last time I was on the podcast, I've made more axes than knives, honestly. But I like that a lot. There's something really nice about making an axe. I think it's because you don't have to mess around with all the fine fit and finish stuff as much as you have to do with a knife.
Yep.
It's mind numbing. I like the actually hitting the hot steel with a hammer way more than sitting there with sandpaper. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. Outside of metalworking, you know, I play a lot of video games. I like traveling a lot. And
oh, you do?
I sure do. I travel quite a bit, much to my coworkers' dismay. And yeah, big music nerd, but that's about it. It's a very basic rundown of me.
So what got you into making knives?
COVID. I was always honestly.
I was so mad I just had to stab something.
Yeah, exactly. I had to take all that government money to show them. No, I was always for some reason fixated on knives. When I was in school, my reward for getting good grades was my grandparents would take me to the local antique stores and I would choose little pocket knives and stuff like that. I've always had a big collection of knives, and when COVID hit and I was bored trying to find things to do, I found myself scrolling knife websites and I was like, why don't I just like try making one?
Yeah.
So I went to Harbor Freight. I spent several $1,000s on really shitty tools and got a terrible horseshoe forge and started trying it and kind of stuck. I like it. Yeah.
And now you bought a house and you have a at-home workshop that you're building out.
I do. Yes.
What's the plans for that? Do you have a cornerstone piece that's going in that you're going to build it around, or are you just kind of taking it as it goes?
Just kind of taking it as it goes. I've got my 2x72. I've got a 12-ton that I Frankenstein together from parts from the scrap bin here. A big old 132-pound anvil that I just kind of move outside when it's time to forge, and it works out for me. Get lots of really crazy looks from the neighbors.
Yeah, I was going to say you're not in a neighborhood that
yeah,
that's probably stoked on it.
I live directly across the street from an elementary school, so I always feel like I'm not allowed to be forging when they're like leaving or on recess or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like that's nice when you should intentionally forge.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, look how cool this is. Hey guys, look. You want to learn to do this?
So I've talked about my tree debacle. Yeah, the first week that I lived in my house, my neighbor lost like 15 trees, and most of them got lost into my property.
Perfect. Your trees now.
Yeah. So I've been talking to my neighbor a lot. And you know, when I first moved in, it was like, we live in the middle of nowhere. Our two houses are next to each other. We kind of have to watch each other's backs. Here's my phone number, whatever. So when we were kind of introducing ourselves, I'd mentioned, I was like, yeah, I'm a blacksmith and machine builder, and this is what I do for a living. And first off, the woman who owns the house was like, oh, that's super cool. That's really interesting. Do you teach classes? Like what you would expect somebody, my grandpa used to be a blacksmith, that kind of stuff. What you expect people to say? And then her boyfriend, who had just recently moved in, came over after the tree stuff and was talking to him, and he, like, mid-sentence was like, hey, whoa, what? You really a blacksmith? Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, you actually make a living doing that? And I was like,
no.
Well, I just bought a house, so yeah. And he's like, well, what do you do? And I was like, well, our main business is we're press builders and power hammer builders, and kind of trying to explain to him what we do. And he was like, and people really buy that? And I was like,
You'd be surprised.
yeah, like a lot of our customers are full-time blacksmiths or knife makers, and they make a living, and we give them tools that help them do that. He was like, oh, well, I ain't heard you pounding out in your garage or something like that. Like something just like,
Really good phrasing.
you weren't eloquent about the way you said it, but I get what you're saying. And I had to be like, well, I work at a shop with 7 or 8 presses and induction forges. And I don't have a home shop. I'm going to build one out, but I don't have one right now because all my stuff's at work. And he was like, oh, I guess that does make sense. Well, I'm a machine operator. I run skid steers, and it makes sense that I don't own one because if I ever need one, I'll just take it home from work. And I was like, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But then it took him 8 months to clear all the trees for my property. So clearly he did not take a skid steer home from work.
He shoulda.
Yeah, he definitely should have. But it got cleared up. We're completely done. Everything is removed. We just have to fix the fence. So that's the update on that, guys. So you got hired here. You like making knives, all that fun stuff. What has been kind of the highlight of your knife making adventure? What's something that you can look back and say either this is super cool that this happened, or I'm really proud of this, or whatever? What's the highlight?
Well, I guess the first time I made Damascus here, I was helped with it by old Cedar Lore and Christopher Menges, who flew in from New Zealand to just forge with us, and that was a pretty neat experience. Like, first time like really forge welding metal and making something I was super duper proud of was with 2 like professionals. And that was probably my favorite thing. I still have that knife sitting on my mantle over my fireplace. Actually, it was a little cool, little 3-tone Damascus dagger that I like made, and I'm kind of obsessed with. Other than that, I really love our hammer-ins every year. That's the highlight of my year every year. Just having all these makers come together and just kind of act like little kids hammering metal together. I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
That is a fantastic segue because I want to talk about the hammer-in. We have not talked hardly at all about the hammer-in at all. Evan, what have we not talked about this year?
The hammer-in.
Oh, good night. You're on board.
Yeah.
So this year we're going to be doing the hammer-in. It will be December 5th and 6th, Friday and Saturday. So you're going to come out, probably get into town on Thursday night, stay in a hotel, wake up.
Are there hotels at Anderson?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay.
So when Indianapolis had the Super Bowl, they built a bunch of hotels. So Anderson actually has like a hot pocket of hotels on 69.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess by the casino. Huh? Oh, okay.
That's the thing is like everybody's like, oh, of course you have hotels. They're next to the casino. And it's like the casino came far before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Far before. We did not have hotels for the casino. The degenerates that go to the casino
drive
home. Exactly. Yeah. The casino, I don't know if it actually makes us money or not. It seems like it doesn't because our economy needs help. But
who owns the casino? Like what company is it?
They've been sold a couple times. I think it's MGM Grand now.
Oh, that's why.
Or is it Centaur?
They're not going to put the money back in the local economy.
Well, the people that own the land it sits on are very prevalent landowners in the area. They own the land that Walmart sits on, the racetrack, the casino. They own the land that the mall sits on.
It is now owned by Caesars Entertainment.
Caesars. Yeah. So
those people probably make like $100,000 in rent a month.
I've heard, brother,
yeah,
you're probably talking millions.
Oh,
I have heard that the buffet is now very good with the recent ownership.
Dude, what do you think? Team building activity at the casino?
My grandma took me, I don't know, I was probably freshly 21. My grandma wanted to go out and eat there.
Hell yeah.
And it was not good.
No?
It was like a seafood buffet, but like not really a buffet. Like you ordered it and then they made it and brought it to you, but it was all you can eat. And I don't know, it's super weird.
I'll take it.
Kind of like a Brazilian steakhouse deal.
Okay.
Like,
now you're talking.
Anyway, it wasn't good. But we are doing our hammer-in this year, December 5th and 6th.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Right now we have Jonah Conrad and Leah Araposh.
Her stuff is so cool.
Dude, super cool.
So cool.
And we are potentially looking at somebody a little more local to be a third demonstrator, or just letting Leah and Jonah have more time because they're both incredibly talented.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody is going to complain about them both having an extra hour to work with. It also gives us the ability to do like we'll have the risers and everything. So we can't do like a real open forge, but we might be able to have like one cell open and like have somebody showing like during lunch, where it's like, we're not going to do a full on demonstration, but let me show you guys how I would, put the heel in on this or something, whatever.
Yeah.
So let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know. Email us, comment it, call Evan. Yep, call Evan. He's shaking his head. He would love that.
I know a guy who's been doing a lot of Mosaic Damascus that might be able to show us a thing or two.
Who's been doing Mosaic?
Paul. Paul's been getting into it.
Paul. Oh,
Gentle
Paul,
Giant?
Gentle Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would have to pay for his travel, and he's from Arizona. So
Oh, he's coming anyways, man. You wouldn't have to pay for that.
I would feel bad if I had him demo on his own time. But his stuff has been awesome.
Oh yeah, ever since he went full time, it's mind-boggling how much his stuff has taken off.
But let me know if you guys would rather have 2 demonstrators and a little bit longer demonstrations, or if you'd rather have a third demonstration from a local guy. Because, I don't want to pay people peanuts. And so the price of having 4 or 5 demos, I don't know why I didn't put an S on it, quickly adds up. So
Are you going to have Charlie demo?
He's going to do a storyboard on Friday for people to follow along how to make a knife.
Okay.
But I don't know that we'll have him do a full demo.
Word.
But that's also an option.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I want to get feedback. Would you guys rather have 2 demos or 3? If I do a third one, it would, like I said, it would have to be kind of a local guy. But anywho, that's going to be happening. I have one question for you. I actually have a couple more probably, but one on the top of my head. What's your favorite Coal Iron Works Andy Davis hammer in memory?
My favorite. Oh, that's a good one. Actually, so probably the first year I was working here, I was running forge safety.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the forges just wasn't lighting. And so me and one of the other guys that used to work here who moved on, his name's Gage, we were trying to figure out what exactly wasn't working about it. And me not being the smartest person around forges at the time, I just reached in with a lighter and I lit it. And it blew up in both of our faces and burnt his beard off. And that's probably that one.
Only half of it.
Only half of it.
And he kept it.
He kept it.
So for literally like 6 months, he had half a beard.
He was so mad at me and I just couldn't stop laughing.
All he had to do, and he had half a beard on that side.
Right.
He could have just trimmed the other half to match.
But then it wouldn't have been as wispy as he wanted.
100% a Gage move to say, no, I'm not trimming it. This is your fault. Which, in all reality, we probably should have just held him down and shaved him.
Oh, God, so many times. Deloused him.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think my favorite is also from the first hammer in. We had the mayor come out and cut a ribbon. We didn't invite him.
Really?
He invited himself.
Cool.
So we work with a guy here in town that kind of helps us get some funding or maybe some government assistance things. Levi. And he just offhanded was like, yeah, the mayor's going to come and do a ribbon cutting. And we were like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to get the news out and the news is going to take pictures and it's going to be live on whatever. I don't even know what the local news, if it's PBS or if it's like Wish TV or what it is, but he's like, yeah, they're going to come out. So he comes out, does a ribbon cutting ceremony and cannot say Cole School of Iron.
Really? I don't remember that part.
He keeps which in his defense, we solidified, like we agreed on the name Cole School of Iron like 3 days before the hammer. And it was like, all right, guys, we need to like, if we're announcing a school, we need to like have a name for it.
Right.
There was a lot of other names that it could have been, but So he comes, it's like, what's this called? And it's like Cole School of Iron. He's like, great. The School of Iron is going to be opening here. And we're just so thankful for School Cole to be doing, the Iron School will be in operation now, and hundreds of jobs, and like gets no detail right. Like, I think at one point he said that we had been in operation for like 50 years or something like that. He's like, yeah, for the past 50 years, they've been a staple of this community. Like,
which is weird because the founder's in his 30s.
Right. And the other founder's kids are standing there. Right. And that, like, the look in his eyes as he's watching this man just completely obliterate our history. I feel like he also gave somebody else credit. I think he called Dave a founder and didn't acknowledge Nathan.
Oh, heck yeah.
But he just like completely butchered it. And we're standing there and it's like, you got to smile for the pictures. So this guy saying wild stuff. Can't even say the name of the school right. And then as soon as he gets done, takes off his tie and like unloosens his shirt and reaches over and shakes everybody's hands and is just incoherently making noise. He's like, yeah, I was like for an hour. I'm in, yep. And it's like, he's trying to do like, hey, thank you so much for having me out. Right. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything, whatever. I don't know if we got him on a bad Saturday morning or like what was going on. I've never met the mayor before this. I was shocked that we even had a mayor. But he didn't do his diligence.
It's just so Parks and Rec. If you guys haven't been to Anderson, Indiana, I swear Parks and Rec, Pawnee has to be so based on Anderson.
It mildly is.
Yeah. And it's like,
so
that's
Pawnee,
the perfect encapsulation of it.
Pawnee and Eagleton.
Right.
That is Anderson and Pendleton.
Yeah.
So Pendleton used to be the county seat, and then somebody who lived in Anderson donated a bunch of land to the county under the provision or whatever, I guess, that Anderson would maintain being the county seat of Madison County. And if it ever stops being the county seat, it goes back into that family trust, the land does. And so there has always been like a strife between Pendleton and Anderson. And I was told, at least, that the Pawnee and Eagleton like argument, the feud, is 100% based off, because if you're from Anderson, you understand we are Pawnee. Like, you understand.
Yes, it is.
And Eagleton is Pendleton.
Place.
Like, it is. They are. Every city has it. When I was in Chicago, I lived in Arlington Heights. Schaumburg was our Eagleton. And Arlington Heights was Chicago's Eagleton. So, you've got Carmel, you've got
Carmel and Fishers.
Carmel and Fishers are Eagleton. And so, yes, it is the perfect, and a lot of the people that we have interacted with that are part of the city government, 100% could be Parks and Rec's characters.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my favorite memory. My other favorite memory is Josh Weston coming out, and him and David were supposed to demo. They were supposed to do a sword together, and then that got scrapped so that we could do a longer open forge on Saturday, because that was the only year we did Saturday and Sunday, which didn't work out very well. So that's why we do Friday and Saturday now. But so that got scratched. And so Josh was like, he came to me and he was like, hey, I came here with the mindset to work. So what do you need done? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, just forge. And if people have questions, answer them. Yeah. So he just started grabbing people and started teaching people like super basics on how to forge. He's the one that grabbed Corbin and drew an X on the anvil. And he said, I don't care what you're making. I want you to hit that X every time. I want you to put your material there, and whatever is hot and whatever you're trying to move needs to be on top of that X.
I remember that.
And I watched him doing that with like 2 or 3 younger guys. So the first memory is obviously like very funny and looking back is humorous. This one was like one of the first times that I went to a Hammer Inn and watched somebody pouring out into the community and giving their time, expecting nothing in return. Because like I said, when I first got into blacksmithing, it was, you would go to an IBA meeting, they would show up 2 hours late with donuts and coffee. Somebody would do a 20-minute demonstration, and then you had about an hour to try to do whatever was demonstrated. And if you weren't doing what was demonstrated, they would get mad.
Really?
Like, and this is the specific one that I went to.
Okay.
The dudes are all great guys, but just the way they saw their meeting going was, I taught you how to do something, now do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is your chance to practice this. I want this craft to go on, and this is your chance to get it right. That was the first time that I had ever been to a hammer-in where it was like, no, like whatever you need, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then actually like taking the time to inspire people. Going to like Dave and Andy's hammer-ins was always like, there was one big group project and we were all kind of working together, but there wasn't a lot of like, oh, I'm doing this for this guy or I'm doing this for this guy. It was always just kind of like, you go, you hang out, you might work for an hour or two, but it was mostly about hanging out. Seeing Josh's mindset of like, let's get going. Let's inspire the next generation. Let's create, he kept saying, let's create a customer. Let's make them want to buy a press. And it's like, that's not the point of the hammer-in is to give back to the people that have already bought a press.
And he
like,
said no.
Yeah. And he's like, no. And dude, we're so incredibly blessed with our community. It's the same thing. Kurt, every time I talk to him, he's like, let's go make you $1. Let's go make you $1. And it's like, Kurt, dude, I love you. I just want you to hang out. It's not always about making me $1. Like we're doing okay, man. Sometimes we can just be of service to our community because that's literally all you do.
Right.
Why am I not allowed to do the thing that you have like given your life's work to doing?
Good point.
Like he does not care about his own time and experience. He will take forever to show you how to do something. Mm-hmm. But the moment that you're like, hey, I was thinking about having Paul come up and do this thing. Do you think he'd be interested? He'd be like, well, you better pay him. Let's make you $1. Like it's all about, like he wants everybody else to make all the money in the world. And he is so selfless with his time and his money. I've watched him overpay for stuff. I've watched him give stuff away that he's trying to sell just because it's going to somebody starting out. Genuinely the best dude. And I got that feeling from Josh that weekend too. And me and Josh have become really good friends. He's one of the only people that I answer the phone, hey, sweetheart, when he calls. And he is a wonderful benefit to our community. Aside from being a great customer, he's just a wonderful asset to what we do and to what we're trying to do. And he's very encouraging. So
yeah, he keeps coming up with really cool ideas for all these like businesses and such random places.
Yeah.
It would feel like, it's like, oh, you got one in Myrtle Beach?
Myrtle Beach.
Of all places. And it's working. It's cool.
He's, I just watched, love him or hate him, I just watched a hour-long interview with Jimmy John's. Jimmy John, I think.
Okay.
The Jimmy John.
It was just a sandwich and a microphone.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He kind of is the walking embodiment of their like Italian nightclub.
Oh my God.
Why is he so greasy? But I watched like an hour-long interview with him, and he was talking about like, you know, some of the reasons that he was successful was taking B and C markets. So he wouldn't go on to like Main Street. He would go on to 2 streets away and then deliver to Main Street. So his rent was cheaper. So instead of spending the money on the rent, he would spend it on marketing and delivery.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what Josh is doing. You know, he's in Frankenmuth, he's in Myrtle Beach, he's at Ren fairs. Some of the Ren fairs, I'm sure, probably get pretty expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in those places operating businesses where the overhead isn't as high as, you know, if he was on the Strip in Vegas or if he was in like Daytona or, you know, anything like that. He's in these kind of B-ish markets. We've all heard of them.
Right.
We're aware. I went on 2 vacations as a child and they were both to Myrtle Beach. So I know it's affordable because my family would not have gone. Just let me be clear.
Yeah.
But he's operating these really cool businesses. And then we get people that follow us or people that will reach out to us and say, yeah, I took a class from Josh and now I've been blacksmithing for 3 or 4 years, you know? So
that's cool.
Yes, he's operating these souvenir style businesses where it's like, yeah, we're just going to have this business come in and, you know, where you get to do this experiment and experience and then you leave with a knife and whatever. But he's creating blacksmiths as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a really, really cool.
It is very cool. It's a really cool way to, one, just have a cool thing to do while you're on vacation with your family, just like a random thing you can pop in and do for a few hours. But also it's great that, like you said, he's passing on our craft to more people that might not have ever been exposed to it.
And he's also growing. He's not going and hiring people with law degrees and, well, his wife's a lawyer, so kind of did that. But, you know, people with business management degrees and going to them and saying, hey, I want to grow this way or whatever. He's doing it very organically. And he's saying like, hey, you're really good at your job. Do you want to learn more?
Yeah.
do you want to do this other thing? Do you want to grow in my business with me? And he's doing active training, not just in the blacksmithing side, but essentially allowing these people to run small businesses for themselves. If you work for him at a Ren Fair, I believe he told me, I am so sorry if I'm wrong, but he allows, hey, you want to come make a knife? Cool. You made a knife. Wonderful. I also am a blacksmith, and these are all the things you can buy from me personally. Like he lets them sell their wares as part of his booth.
That is cool.
You know, and he was telling me that some of his guys will go and they'll work 3 or 4 weeks, 80-hour weeks, and he pays well and they get tipped out. He says their tips make him jealous. And then between that and selling their own wares and stuff, he's like, they work those 2 or 3 weeks and that's all they work in the summer. And then once it starts getting cold out, they start forging again, or they go, you know, get their winter job. It's
kind of a dream setup.
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick.
Rad.
Yeah. I wish I was good enough to do that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That would be so sick.
You have to be, so there's a fine line. You have to be a good enough blacksmith to be competent teaching, right? Like making, hey, you want to hit that here, you want to move this here. Actually don't, you know, oh, I can fix that mistake, whatever. But you can't be so good that your ego gets involved. And it's like, you know, one of the challenges that I would foresee after working here and working with makers is I helped you make that, which means my name is associated with it, which means it has to be perfect.
Oh, I can see some people thinking that way.
And if you're working at a Ren Fair and you have to get, say each person should be doing 6 to 8 people a day, but it's taking you 3 hours to get through one because it has to be perfect, that can be a problem.
Meeting people where they're at. That's what you got to be good at.
Exactly. There has to be a good kind of middle ground there of like, you have to be an incredibly talented smith, a very good teacher, and remove your ego from it and just let people have a fun time.
Right.
See, that's what I excel at is, you know, at Quad State or wherever we go, people will be like, oh, can I try? And it's like, absolutely. I'm not showing you anything. I just want you to heat up metal and have fun.
Hit it. Make us some scrap.
Exactly. This is your first time forging. I think time 3 is where it's like, okay, tuck your elbow in. Okay, let me draw the X on the anvil. Like the first couple times should just be a wow. It should just be like
trying to figure out how the material moves when you hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
If you're hitting it correctly at all.
Right. There should be wonder. I think adulterate isn't a word, but I'm going to make it a word. We make things adult too quickly. Like we should live as a child.
We do adultery too much.
We should live as a child for a little bit and let things be a wonder to us. You know, like one of my biggest downfalls now is that I have Wikipedia as an app. So I could just look up anything and find the history out, and I'm an expert in 30 seconds and I can just read it off.
That explains so much.
Yeah. I wish that I could go back to just being amazed by things. You know, just like instead of saying, well, how does that work? Let me take 10 minutes and research it. I wish that there was times where it's just like, whoa, and just sit in that.
I like the wonder part, but I love knowing how so much more. I'm on the opposite. I'm just like, when I see someone like that first time I'm at an anvil, I'm like, I don't want to make scrap. I need you to show me how to make this thing perfect right now, immediately.
Yeah. No, I'm also that guy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is I spend too much time trying to know instead of just being amazed. Yeah. And you know, how, you know, any kind of art or craft or anything, Neil is a great example. Neil does not do a lot of instructional videos of like, here's how you put the fuller in the knife. Here's how I do this. Yes.
Okay.
He does hey guys, I made a knife. Let's make tuna salad.
Oh yeah, he does do
like,
that. Yeah, he just makes food with his
super cool. And that leaves you in the amazement of like, holy crap, this guy just forged a knife and now he's making dinner with it.
Yeah, that is cool.
Like I want to sit in that, but I'm the guy that goes, oh, that's a super cool knife. He said he made it. I wonder if there's other guys that'll teach me how to do that.
Oh, right.
You know, and that'll happen with carpentry. That'll happen with metalwork. That'll happen with welding. CNC is one that I've been getting into a lot is like, I'll see somebody making a part in a video and it's like, oh, that's cool. Well, why would they do that way? Why aren't they going full speed? So it's like Google,
right?
Boom. Instead of, you know, and there's the lack of the information that comes between that gets you to the the logic of this is why they're going half speed. You just have the fact. We're
Right.
losing that logic section of learning. It's all just facts.
Yeah. You definitely want the hands-on. I feel like that's more important than just having the facts in front of you. So sometimes learning by just smashing the metal is a better move.
Yeah.
Sometimes crashing your spindle into a part is part of the learning, and you should
fun.
just do it.
Make it scream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who cares about the repair bill? It's probably not yours. It's probably the company you work for. So
Exactly.
like you're not paying for it.
So don't care, you know?
Dude, end mills are only like $150 a piece.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, let's break a few more.
Break them all. Okay, so that was our favorite memories. Josh, what's a memory you want to make this year? What's something that you're going to trying to achieve
Ooh.
this year at the Hammer Inn?
I got engaged a few weeks ago, and so I've always been joking growing up that when I get married, I'm going to give my fiance a family sword for us. And she remembered me making that joke. So, hey, thanks. So I have to make a sword, and I plan on trying to do mosaic for the first time to make that sword.
What kind of sword are you making?
A shorter arming sword, I think. Double-edged, but, maybe like...
Not a claymore.
2 foot. That'd be so cool. God,
It's a family sword, dude. You kind of got to go big.
I mean, imagine the cost for mosaic for a claymore.
Yeah, but if you have like, oh yeah, this is my family sword. I just made it because I'm a bladesmith, and you have like a 14-inch
That would be
stiletto.
too wimpy.
Yeah, you need to go Zweihander at least.
That would be so sick. I would love to do that. God, do we have a quench tank that we could do that in?
Yeah, we can make one.
Oh, that's true. I can weld whatever we need, really, technically.
We've got 55-gallon drums that can get welded together.
Oh, true. But yeah, that's the
You've also got Brandon.
Yep.
oh,
Professional heat treat
that is true. Oh yeah, he treated some of David's stuff, didn't
and
he?
some of Logan's and some of Charlie's. Yeah, we've used them a lot.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I've got plans with my buddy Paul and my buddy Dave to work on that this year. So
Cool.
we'll see how far along it gets.
Yeah.
I've got a year to finish it. So at the rate I finish knives, I'm going to be cutting it close.
Yeah. Well, you've got a Charlie,
I do have a Charlie.
and you've got a Greg, and you've got a Logan, and you've got a Nigel.
It's true.
So two of those people stay after.
Yeah.
Greg and Nigel don't.
No,
You
they
would have to
run out.
pay
They have
Nigel.
children.
Yeah, you would have to pay Nigel.
And even then, I think he would still be.
Yeah, his hourly rate would be exorbitant.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this year I am looking forward to making this as much as we can a give back to the community. So we have had Abana, CBA, SOFA, IBA. Let me see, Andrew Larson, Even Heat. I believe New Jersey Steel Baron is in. All agree to donate to Iron in the Hat or raffle, whichever one we end up going with. Even Heat is doing a large item. I'm not going to announce what it is, but if you know what Even Heat is, you know what they do.
Are employees
Yeah.
allowed to buy tickets for the raffle?
I'm going to.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll go under a false name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to look at like laws.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I definitely won't have someone straw purchase it for me.
that's the thing is like, I will have to teach you how to get around the law. That's all, like that's the thing is like, I want people to be able to come and enjoy and but just as much as we are an asset to the community for this, this is like our employees' favorite time of the year outside of SOFA.
Yeah.
Like we get to meet all the guys that are working our presses. We get to meet all the guys we look up to that come out to the Hammer Inn. We get to meet the demonstrators. So if I have to tell you guys like, no, you're not allowed to be a part of the raffle or whatever, like that's kind of lame because I can't afford to give you some of this. Like I can't just go buy everybody a SOFA shirt. I can't go buy. So like to take away that chance of you winning that big raffle, it's kind of lame in my opinion. But I also totally understand it as somebody who comes in from the outside and is like, oh, like I spent $60 in raffle tickets and then I watched Josh win.
I also feel like our community wouldn't even be really bummed out about it though, because they all know we're all makers too.
Sure. Yeah.
So we're in that lucky position at least.
Yeah. But so we will have raffle Iron in the Hat, something of that sort.
What is Iron in the Hat?
Iron in the Hat is essentially you don't put your ticket into like, okay, so a raffle, you have 5 things, you have 5 cups. You decide what cup you want because of what thing you want. Mm-hmm. With Iron in the Hat, it's just I pick this up, I pick a ticket out of the bucket, and whoever I get gets this.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get to pick what you're actually winning.
Word.
So
that makes sense.
I don't know exactly. Could be, and once again, because of gambling laws, and we have a casino here, which is weird that came up. There's a little bit more scrutiny in the area. Or so I would assume. I could be completely wrong, and we could just willy-nilly do whatever we want. But because we have members of the city that come and stuff like that, I kind of have to be above board. So we will be doing that. I am also giving away a induction forge.
Nice.
So if you don't have a 50 amp breaker, you can get the 15 kilowatt, but I do plan on making a 25 kilowatt as part of the raffle.
Oof.
So we have 2 very big items that can go along with a lot of smaller items that are really cool. Preferred abrasives. They sent in. They've sent theirs in. They're very not preferred, not the German preferred. Preferred from Ohio.
Okay, gotcha.
Which I mean, still just as good.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's not the German preferred. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to is every year this event seems to get better and better. And last year having Dave out selling his hammers because he was demonstrating, the feedback we got was, holy crap, it took you 3 years to have a vendor.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, we didn't want, what we don't want is we don't want people to come out and think that it's just a cash grab for us. Like we lose money on this event. I'll be transparent. We lose money doing this. We sell tickets because we have to pay for at least part of it. We can't afford to just upfront do it all. But we don't want people to come in and think, oh, well, they're selling this knife steel. They wanted me to come and spend. I spent $60. Now I have to spend another 120 while I'm out here. This isn't a cash grab.
Right.
I want people to feel like it's an asset. And for us, it was like, do you want to bring vendors out? And it was like, no, because they already spent money to get out here. They're staying in a hotel. We don't want them to feel like we're pushing hammers and punches and chisels and.
But at the same time, it might be kind of like the sofa deal where people kind of want to pick something up.
That is exactly what we found out is especially a lot of the guys that come out to the Hammer Inn we are so incredibly blessed with the IBA. So incredibly blessed with the IBA. We forget that there are guys who do this in seclusion and they don't have access to the guys around them that they can go make a drift with, or they can go if they don't know how to do it, they have to fail 50 times trying to figure out how to do it. They don't have somebody who will come over and coach them through it. So they do need to buy a punch. They do need to buy a drift. They do need to buy these tongs or whatever. And then there's other guys that are like, I'm a knife maker. I want to buy tongs. I don't want to forge tongs.
That's where
I want to forge knives. Because we are so incredibly blessed with the IBA and the communities that we've been a part of, it didn't even dawn on us. Because anytime I'm like, I really wish I had a 2 1/4 French peen. Somebody I'm standing within 15 feet of is like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. No, truly.
Now.
Yeah. I mean, go thinking, go.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have tongs to hold it? Well, forge the tongs first. Like it's so it took us 3 years. We got good feedback from that. We're having a few vendors out this year. Broadbeck's going to be out with us. New Jersey, Even Heat, Dave, Andrew, Preferred won't be able to make it, but they did do the donation.
Conrad's bringing stuff.
Conrad's bringing stuff to sell. I need to make sure Leah knows it's totally okay to bring stuff to sell. I'm also potentially going to be having another local artist out that is not blacksmith related, but is
just a tattoo artist
in the blacksmithing
blasted
in the blacksmithing family.
So sick.
And just have, if it just becomes a maker market of people being able to come out and enjoy each other's work and, pick something up that they wouldn't make themselves or something that they need, or even I've bought stuff before because I want to take it back to my shop and learn how to make it.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to have it in front of me to be able to look through, what's your order of operations? Where's the swell at? Where did you get this upset from?
A little reverse engineering action.
Exactly. So, in fact, I should have done that with Brian's tongs. Freaking still kicking myself for not buying Brian's tongs at Sofa. He had some hammer eye tongs. But anywho, I want to recap that because we just took, the long way around the house to get to there. We're excited about the hammer in. We've got Even Heat doing a big donation. We've got a bunch of other guys doing smaller donations for very cheap raffle tickets or Iron in the Hat tickets. Once again, this isn't going to be a cash grab, but we do have to cover some of our costs. And we are also going to be doing a 25 kilowatt induction forge.
That's so sick.
Along with probably some t-shirts or something like that. So I hope everybody gets to walk away with something, right? That's kind of the goal is to have enough that everybody can walk away with something.
And even if you didn't win something, you came here and you probably made something.
You made something, right? And you have the ability to buy whatever you weren't able to make.
Right.
So that's our goal. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the hammer in as it comes up, but that is live on our website. You can get your tickets at coaliron.com. As soon as you go to Coal Iron, it is the first picture that pops up. You click on that and then you buy your tickets and you come hang out. I would love to have you all out here. I've had a lot of people ask, hey, I want to come out Tuesday or I want to come out Wednesday. I love all of you. And at 4:00, you are more than welcome to go to dinner, we can make plans. But as for me and my house, we have to work Monday through Thursday.
We still got presses to build for you.
Right. So I unfortunately can't have, 15 people just hanging out while we're trying to work, especially with all of my employees being youth pastor for squirrels is what I've referred to it as in the past.
Youth pastors for squirrels?
That's the attention span that everybody that works for me has.
Yes.
Nothing would get done. So if you come in on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, obviously I can't tell you not to do that. But what I can tell you is that you have to wait until 4:00
and then maybe
to hang out.
Meet you at Creatures of Habit down the street after.
We can meet you at Creature of Habit. We can open the school up that whole week. I don't care if I'm here until 9:00.
Oh, I'm down.
Every night, 10:00 every night, just forging. You guys, we're more than welcome to come out. I will have you help set up. I will have you work a little bit. But if you want to come out a couple days and hang out after work, let us know. Just let us know ahead of time so that it's not a cluster cuss. But come out to this, guys. This is going to be super cool. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot.
I think we've kind of got things dialed in to where probably in the next year or two, maybe year 5 will be the okay, this is what it looks like forever.
Yeah.
This is kind of the rough outline. There will be minor changes, obviously, but I think we're kind of getting there.
Dude, I just want to be able to take over Cindy's all that empty space for vendors. God, that'd be so nice.
I might be able to talk her into that.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Might be able. That's a good idea. I should probably ask.
Open up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Dude, we were briefly talking about making that sculpture thing. We could start that the week of the hammer in.
Yeah, that'd be sick, actually.
Yeah.
What? I think Paul's coming out Wednesday.
Yeah, he comes out a little early to hang out with his sister.
Yeah, he comes out to hang out with his sister. We're going to do a podcast with him. We tried to do a podcast, and he lives in Arizona, so his computer internet kept overheating. Like
my God.
His internet was getting too hot.
Dude, every day he'll send it a little knife maker group chat that we have. He's just like, yep, it's 1:10. I'm outside. I'm just like, why? Move.
I know Midwest guys always say this. 110 with 20% humidity is like 85.
Yeah, it really is.
It's hot. You feel it on your skin. It's not like you actual 85, but as far as what it feels like to move and walk around and whatever, you're going to get sunburnt way quicker. I get that. I'm not stupid.
Right.
But if you've not spent time in the corn sweats.
Oh, it's
when you get to the end of July, the early August in Indiana, and we have 90% humidity at 95 degrees. it doesn't compare to 110 degrees.
It's like that's those 6 weeks in the summer where it's just humid and hot, and all of us just can't even look each other in the eye because we're swimming through our clothes and furious.
It's 85 degrees, but the feel like temperature is 102.
Yeah,
and it's like, how is this even legal?
It's not.
How?
Not.
You got to keep the cows from farting.
You got to shoot the sun in self-defense.
Yeah. All right. Evan, did I forget anything? Were we supposed to cover anything?
No, we're good.
Are you full of love and joy?
Yeah.
Are you full of vigor?
I'm full of coffee right now.
Full of
So,
coffee.
yes, nigger.
All right, guys. Let's see you at the Hammerin'. Let's see you at Josh Prince's class. Don't go to Josh's house. You've got room to entertain. Let's see 2 or 3 of you at Josh's.
God, it's actually a possibility.
Yeah, I've already got my house is already spoken for. So, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I've got t-shirts here in shop.
Oh, the cool ones.
So let's do a giveaway. Guys, I want you to tell me what your favorite Hammerin' memory is. Not, it doesn't have to be ours. If it is ours, that's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. But just give me your favorite Hammerin' memory, whether it is Quad State, whether it is CBA, whether it's they do like 9 a year. They're super active. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Whether it's just your buddies that does ones, Bob Rankins, whatever. Tell me your favorite Hammerin' memory. Post it, do a little short clip on your stories and tag us in it. And whoever has the sweetest, most adorable, most innocent, childlike wonder in their eyes as they're telling me about their favorite Hammerin', they'll get a free t-shirt.
Nice. I'm going to go ahead and exclude Jeffrey Dotterman from this giveaway.
Oh, he's won twice.
Yeah, he's won twice, and the innate adorableness in his eyes is just undeniable. You can't beat that. So he's out.
Yeah. Jeff, you're excluded specifically because of who you are.
You're too sweet.
Yeah, we love you too much.
You've done this to yourself.
How dare you be so
This
kind.
is your own problem. Now leave me.